You love the shirt? Well, I mean, you know, I thought about wearing my normal shirt, but it did feel like it was the right time to wear it. Although, I mean, the shirt's very nice too. It's a nice shirt. So I thought I should rock the apt shirt for today. Yeah, obviously, I'll chat a little bit about it. Obviously, we won't go into like crazy detail, because obviously it's still all new. There's a lot of information to talk about, but you know, I'll talk a little bit about it because my lawyer was sweating this morning. Bro messaged me at like 4 a.m. and was like, please be careful. I was like, don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm about to do a pro gamer move. You're about to get a client for a long time. Oh no. The legal fees will be a lot though. No, it's fine. It's fine. We have like one mod who's around and they work overtime, but today we're gonna have a couple more. We have a lot more now. We have a lot more now. There's mods. See, look at them. There's load. They're ready. They're ready. All right, don't step out of line, chat. Because I can already see a lot of first-time chatters, which, you know, obviously I could have anticipated. I had to stand up for this one. Had to stand up for this. No sitting down. But yeah, I appreciate all the support so far, obviously, and everyone's very upset and very eager to hear about more. At the end of the day, before we get into it or talk about anything, like, I think I speak for everyone when we just want to support Mouse. At the end of the day, we just want Mouse to be okay. So I thank you guys so much for you know, your undivided support of Mouse. Sorry, when I do that weird thing where I get louder, that's me trying to cope. Great tweet, by the way. and my lawyer said it was fine. I told him, I was like, I'm gonna do a pro gamer move real quick. He was like, please don't. And I was like, and he was like, actually, you know what? That's a good one. Thank you. I thought it was tasteful. I thought it was tasteful. I mean, what can you do? What can you do when you know, when no amount of words can put into how angry you are? What can you say? And for me, the best way I like to deal with these things is to make a joke. I'm British. That's how we cope with everything. Ludwig's tweet was crazy, though. What Ludwig's tweet was diabolical. Do you guys see what he tweeted? Ludwig is unhinged. Lud tweeted, I believe Vshojo is a terrorist organization. I like that is he's him, bro. Let him do what he wants, I guess. You know what? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. The joke is they donated to the wrong idea. That's so bad. That's so bad. That's so bad. Okay, so there's a you know, it's a bombshell right now. It's a lot to take in because I feel like people cared an awful lot about this thing and the thing isn't there. And a lot of people also just are curious what's going on. A lot of people who've never even heard of VTubing or Vshojo want to know what's going on. So there's a lot of people who are trying to get anything. And unfortunately, all the information that is available now is, you know, majoritively from Mouse's statement. And unfortunately, there won't be any more information for a while, you know, obviously things need to go underway. Hopefully you guys don't have to wait too long. But just keep that in mind, that there are a lot of people out there that want to make their quick buck from this, and they'll be saying whatever the fuck and all this stuff, and just know that unfortunately you just have to wait, you know? It does suck. It really sucks, because everyone deserves answers. This is a pretty, I mean, it's very serious what's being accused, obviously, because it is not drama. It is literally a crime. This is like a genuine crime. This is not like YouTube drama, he said, she said, like some serious shit. And obviously, you know, in Mouse's video, Mouse mentions that, you know, she's owed money as well, you know, and that's just what we know from Mouse, is that that's being claimed. So it's some pretty hefty allegations that, you know, have to all be handled. So that's why, like, I'm also gonna make sure that I handle this in the proper way, even though I am fucking angry. So I'm sorry, you're not gonna get like the scoop from me, and I'm not going to give you any more information, like, you know, private information about it. Like, if you're expecting that, that's not what you're going to get, because, you know, I'm obviously, we got to wait for Mouse to handle this, and then all the legal stuff to be done. So you're not going to get any of that from me, but we can talk a bit more about, we do know what's public, and yeah, then we'll get into my overall thoughts on this whole mess. Now, I know this is a bit of a tangent, but I think it's really important. I think it's really important to quickly talk about the, like, business of running a fucking agency. I think it would be fun to tell you guys roughly about how this all works, because I think it's interesting, and I think it'll help us understand better what might have happened and what might have gone on a bit here. And then we can get into it. Look, as somebody who has been a YouTuber and stuff for a very long time, we can talk about like roughly what happened. So let's say you have company. Okay, why do I have white? Also, let me kill the music. I'm gonna kill the music. Not the MS Paint. We're doing the MS Paint. We're doing it. My thing is not very good. Let's say you have a company and it's called CdawgVA. Now, very fundamentally, I think we all easily understand this concept. For a business to work, the money that goes in, all right, needs to be bigger than money go out. Like, that's a pretty simple, like, it's a pretty easy understanding of business, right? Okay, and then you hear someone in chat goes, well, actually, it does actually change because now we have these genius people in the great place of San Francisco who had this genius model that was like, what if money that goes in is just like nothing, and money that goes out is money that goes in is big investor money. Company has to make fuck all. Hundreds of millions, just keep shoveling it in. So anyway, there's not like, but generally speaking, money needs to come in at a bigger amount than money goes out. Very simple, very, very simple. Now from my CDawg agency, there are a couple of ways that I could make some money from talent. So let's say I want to start, I have my amazing talents here. There's some revenue that I can get. So I could take it from, let's say if they're a YouTuber like me, and I want to take money from myself, because I'm the top talent at CDawg Corp. Bro thinks he's pirate self. Okay, no, I never worked at Blizzard. All right. So you could take it from like ad revenue. This is like a common way that company, okay. Okay, my handwriting is not very good. This is like your Twitch money. This is your YouTube ad revenue, money that you get from just kind of doing your YouTuber things. And there's not really like a money number that's agreed on, right? So like 1 month you could make, I don't know, like $1,000 from this, right? And then there's also sponsorships, which you've seen me do plenty of time. Lord knows I've promoted some games that maybe I, but look, that's fine, because you know what? CDawg Corp just got $2,000. Nice. Okay, nice. There's also merch. We can sell merch. We can sell the merch from CdawgVA.com where you can get it, and the company will typically, they'll help our top talent, CDawg. They'll help him make some merch, and we'll take a cut. So we'll get like 500. This is nice. Now we've got some cash flow, right? There is also other miscellaneous stuff that you can make money from, but this will always be like the big three. Like you can make money from like convention appearances, licensing. Like if Mouse wanted to, like release, I don't know, a pickaxe, you can make the Mouse pickaxe. Sorry, 5,000. I did 5,000, right? So like there's a lot of different ways, but these tend to be like the big ways that you make money, right? Now, generally speaking, like the normal amount that a talent agency will take is like 10 to 25, but normally 20% of the talent's like revenue, like cut. But they might not take it from everything, right? But you need to take something, because otherwise, you don't have a lot of money coming in. So let's say we're taking 10% of all of this. All right, we've got, so let's say CDawg Corp's taking 10%, right? This is not a very, this is already getting messy. Can I get a bigger eraser? Why is it default so small? This is tiny. What the fuck is this? This is such an unhelpful eraser. Okay, you know what? There we go. Control plus. Wait, really? No. Okay, anyway, we'll continue on. I'm getting sidetracked with my tiny eraser. So let's say CDawg Corp is taking 10%. And right now we have $8,000, so they're taking $800. Why is this small now? What is this? Okay, there we go. We're back. All right, nice. We're taking a whopping $800 a month. Now, what you might have realized very quickly is that that's actually like not a whole lot of money. That's not a whole lot of money for CDawg to pay, well, me, the employee, right? Like, what's the average salary of someone who lives in the US, right? Like it'd be, I don't know, like, what is it, like $4,000, 5,000? And obviously for talent agencies, like, let's say the average salary is like 5,000. Let's say it's like, I don't know, someone who works there. And if it's San Fran, boy, you better be prepared to double it. So basically what needs to happen is that, like, if a talent's on 10%, which is quite generous, I'd say it's normally 15 to 20 normally, is that they need to somehow find, and let's just say you have just one manager, they need to find $5,000 of money here, like, per month, right? And they're only taking 10 to 20%. So they're like, the money in this is like, it's either like really good or really bad. So this is why when you hear about a lot of talent agencies that are small, you never really hear about like mid-sized talent agencies, because it's kind of really hard to exist in this middle ground where if you're like a creator or something, there's not a whole lot of money that you can make to pay staff, because there's not just like one staff, you're probably paying like 2 or 3 staff, right? There's a lot going on. There's a lot of money that needs to be generated for all this to be paid. I know that 5K is low, and I know that if it's like San Fran, it would be like crazy, right? But just stay with me. So this is why for a long time, talent agencies have been kind of like dominated by the really, really big dogs. Because, you know, if you sign like one contract with like Katy Perry, right? Like Katy Perry or Caitlyn Jenner does a Pepsi deal and it's going to go great. And the Pepsi deal might be worth like 5 mil. Suddenly, you know, 5 mil, you know, if we're taking 10% of 5 mil, holy moly, we're in it. Now we're cooking. Now we're making some fucking money in this business. You know what I mean? We're making some big bucks. So that traditionally talent agencies have kind of been pretty like top heavy, and there's a lot of big companies that kind of control the space. And there's not a lot of small companies, which is why when you've probably seen a couple of like really small agencies that exist. And the main way that they like stay afloat is by just having like 0 running costs. Like they don't have many staff. Like it might be like the CEO is the one who does pretty much all the deals and stuff like that. So like there's a massive imbalance, and there's not really like a solid way for like a mid-sized agency to exist. This is all being said, and I want to keep this in mind. And the whole point of this was that, like, you know, and I'm not trying to like, you know, judge how a business was ran, but the problem is if you're kind of not taking any of this money, you kind of don't have a business. You know, it's kind of, you kind of don't have anything. And so I think it's important to take that. You know, a lot of stuff was public, and so, you know, you can kind of figure out what might have been going wrong. And on top of that, like, just, okay, sticking to pure factual public statement knowledge that, you know, stuff that like, you know, that would be available to you to know, is that like, something, let me pull it up real quick before we get into it, is that like, you know, Vshojo owes the Immunophysicity Foundation a lot of money, $500,000. And they've, you know, in Mouse video as well, Mouse has also owed money. I'm just like curious, how did that happen? Because from my perspective, you know, I feel like it should have been pretty easy. I mean, you know, this is an article from like 3 years ago, is that like, just saying, an interesting article. That's it. I'm just going to leave it there. And also, I was curious because I saw this tweet that someone posted. Hopefully it doesn't show anything that I shouldn't show. I saw this tweet where someone posted that, remember when Vshojo plastered this all over the Tokyo subway to brag about how well they treated their talents? And I was thinking about this, and I was like, I know that station. That's fucking Shinjuku Station. I go through that all the time. And I was wondering, I was like, how much does it cost to get that? Because you know, personally, in my opinion, it would be nice if instead of advertising, we could, you know, perhaps put that money towards the Immunophysicity Foundation. And so I actually found the exact costs of how much it costs to do this. Fun fact. Yeah, here they are. It's a lot of money. So this is one of the ways that you can get it. There's also this piece of information here, and I'll let you explain how much this costs. So what this says in Japanese is right here. This says that for one of those pillars, for 7 days, if I'm not mistaken. It'll cost 40 million yen, which is about $250,000 for one. If you want to take over the whole thing, it would cost 200 million yen, which is, if I'm not mistaken, it's a lot. It's a fuck ton. It is a fuck ton. Okay, it's like an insane amount of money, and that's to get all those pillars for 7 days of advertising. And obviously, like, look, I'm not here to tell a business how to run their company. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck. But well, I mean, I do give a fuck. That is a lie. I do give a fuck. Actually, I give quite a lot of fucks. One thing that, you know, leaves the question in my mind, as somebody who would like the charity to get paid, is why is there the need to advertise an English talent agency on a Japanese subway? Just a genuine, like, thought that I would love to know what happened. Like, I had to imagine that there was, I don't know. I'm not, no imagining, no stipulating. Look, I'm just saying, like, that's frustrating for me, because that's easily money that could have gone towards charities and stuff. And, you know, as well, like, some other stuff as well that's important to keep in mind is that there was always be, like, big parties that would be thrown, and parties, not cheap to throw. Like, booking out a whole venue and paying for everyone's drinks is a very expensive thing to do, and oftentimes completely, like, just a flex, you know? So, yeah, my lawyer is probably sweating right now. I don't want to open Discord because I don't dare look what he said. But look, what? Look, if I get sued for defamation, oh, great, cool. Oh, great, they can finally pay the charity now with the money they get from me. Okay, so I think they kind of did the math the wrong way. Okay, point B, you kind of get what I'm getting at, even if my math wasn't correct. I think they illustrate the point that, you know, and like, I think one of the things that I was always, okay, there's a lot of things. Actually, I won't get into that. I won't get into that because I don't want to say things that I shouldn't. But I will tell you guys how I feel about it, because I think I'm well within my legal right to do that, and I'm fucking pissed off, man. It's been really frustrating. I've to say the least. Obviously, I've, you know, known about this for quite some time now. You know, up in mouse, deal with it as much as possible, you know, and as much as you can do. And it's man, it fucking sucks. It sucks a lot. I'm still kind of like coming to terms with the breach of trust, which I think is, you know, something that I think is obviously being, you know, because everyone's talking about the charity money, and that's really important, and the talents have been lied to. But I think, like, man, what a colossal fuck up to absolutely ruin the trust with, like, all of the talents in my mind. And with Mouse, like, the one thing that you have to do as an agency is just keep your talent safe. Like nothing you do should ever put them in a point of jeopardy. And so it's just so depressing that this happened. And I know that, like, I don't want to talk for Mouse in any of this, because that's not, you know, I think, you know, this is Mouse thing, but like, Mouse already had like a hard time trusting people, so it just fucking makes me so fucking mad that someone that you know, and people that Mouse trusted kind of took advantage of that. And yeah, I'm really, really, really angry about it. I know I am not shouting and all that stuff. Lord knows I want to. But man, I'm just sad. I'm just so sad. I'm so sad. But, you know, okay, so let's talk about a bit about the video and about Mouse, and you know, so Mouse, you know, released a statement, and I'm glad that she did, because I think that it was important for Mouse to be able to tell this from her own words, from her own side. And again, reminder, this is, you know, what Mouse's attorneys have approved Mouse to say, and this is what they're allowed to say. So, you know, if you can say this and you can't say the other stuff, I mean, anyway. The one good thing that's come from this so far, and then I guess we can get into that in a little bit, but like, goddamn, oh man, I'm sorry. My thoughts are hard to formulate in this moment, and perhaps I should have had a script, but you know, like, I feel like I didn't really want to come in here and be like, this is what my lawyer has approved. I feel like, because there's so much support from you guys and from the viewers for Mouse and for especially our charitable endeavors. Bit of a disservice to kind of just lawyer talk out of this. Yeah, it's just so depressing. And like, you know, obviously found out about this quite a while ago. And you know, I'd been concerned for quite some time about certain things. And so, you know, was pushing quite heavily. And so I'm glad that, you know, Mouse was able to get answers. Obviously it was like not great answers. And I mean, dude, can you imagine that like you've put so much of like your life and so much of like your effort and everything that you hold dear and everything that you care about into something, and someone else is like, whoops, forgot about that, you know? Oh, I was supposed to do that. I'm okay. I don't think I'll do it. And then you can't even get like a good answer as to what the fuck is going on. Yeah, it's just, I'm like dumbfounded. So, you know, and I'm glad that that now it's out and that we can hopefully start figuring out what the next steps are. And obviously it's just so shit, man. It's so shit. So one thing that I was like, you know, we should do this is that we should talk to the Immunodeficiency Foundation and kind of explain what's a bit about what's going on. And man, that is like, if you think you've ever had to fucking break bad news to people in your life, dude. I mean, I normally don't like get upset or cry about things, but like, man, like having to deal with that was just like so ridiculous. Because, you know, me and Mouse have both spent so much of our online time and the work that I do here and the work that Mouse does, like advocacy for the Immunodeficiency Foundation. And, you know, I genuinely see all the immunodeficiency people like family. Like we have calls with them every month. We walk through what they're doing. We walk through all the fundraisers that we're doing and where the money's going. We talk to patients. I've interviewed people who have benefited from the charity, and I've gotten to speak with them. And like this, it's so hard when you donate money. Like there are so many people who are being so generous in donating money. It's so hard to see that money and to imagine that you like helped someone, and to see the direct benefits of that. But you know, I've been really fortunate where I've been able to like actually talk to so many of these patients who have benefited from this money and who have been able to increase their quality of life because of this money. And so to like kind of hear that like people won't get it really fucking hurts. Because again, I've spent so much fucking energy, and Mouse spent so much energy on raising money for this charity that, you know, like without them, we wouldn't have Ironmouse streams, you know? Like they are such an important aspect of Mouse's life. And yeah, sorry. Getting a little sad. Get a little sad, man, when I think about it. Because and then I started thinking about like, man, we hear about Ironmouse and we're so lucky that we hear about Mouse's story and Mouse's journey. And then I get so fucking sad that I think like, damn, it could have ended so much more differently if there wasn't people who were trying to do the right thing. And that makes me really fucking angry. So yeah, that's really tough to deal with. But I think it's been great to see the support the Mouse has gotten so far. And when I was talking to Mouse, and Mouse obviously extremely nervous about doing this, releasing this, obviously, as this is like such a difficult thing to do. And Mouse is not a drama person. Mouse is not a confrontational person. Mouse is not the type of person who would get into this. Mouse would do everything in her power to not let it get to this point. And so to see it kind of like get there and just watching Mouse being like torn apart by this was, yeah, made me really, really fucking angry. And I really hope that the people who are responsible for this, I hope that they are held accountable and that there is some form of justice. But other than that, it has been amazing to see like just how much support there's been for the charity and for Mouse, because I think that I'm really happy that everyone's kind of taken to Mouse and the charity here, and like already like so far, like as I'm like talking, it's going up. It's kind of crazy. But like $223,000 raised already, and Mouse isn't even streamed. Like that's crazy. Like that's so cool. And I'm just like, kind of like overwhelmed for Mouse as well, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like the level of generosity has been really cool to see. So that's been awesome.